How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Title of today's video is Don't Sip the Corporate Kool-Aid, Create Your Own, and I'll be touching on what I mean by that. And the inspiration from this video is just from I just hit the 1.5 year mark at my corporate job and want to share my experiences, and hopefully I can help somebody who comes across this video find the ability to create their own Kool-Aid going forward. As I'm sure that anybody who's in the corporate world has heard that term before. And the biggest, honestly, one of the biggest gripes and issues I've had with my job is it feels like a theater. It feels like a performance in everything that you do. Whether it comes to even your resume, like my resume is absolute BS. Maximize shareholder value for 150 sales locations day over day. Dude, I literally looked at numbers on a screen and sent emails to people using Copilot. It wasn't that deep. And just meetings that generate more meetings, dancing around a topic. We need to move the needle on this. Let's sync this afternoon. No, dude. I'm going to the range to work on my dirt golf swing. It just feels like you're a henchman when you're talking to these people. It just feels so inauthentic, so weird. Like, how I look at it is obviously he's my dad, but like the way I talk to my dad is the way I would talk to a lot of my friends. But the guys who are the same age that I work with, it's like they're robots, man. They're robots. They were genetically modified to be upper management at a Fortune 200 company. It's just so fake. The buzzword's the worst, honestly. And just the lack of fulfillment you feel from your work. I'm the mud below the corporate ladder. And this is all self inflicted. Don't get me wrong. I chose this job. I chose the degree I got. Well, it's a pretty solid degree. I got an accounting degree. I always knew in the back of my head, like, bro, I don't really know if this is going to be what I want to do for the rest of my life. But who knows what they want to do at 18. Um, it's just, yeah, over the last year and a half, it's just, what do I have to look back on? What have I accomplished at my job? Besides getting better at pickleball, because me and my coworkers have been playing pickleball after work. But actual tangible results? Nothing. I got better at using Copilot to do my work. That's about that's about the extent of it, which leads into, I want to look back in a year from now and hopefully look at this channel, and whether it's likes, subs, views, I hope to see progress. Actually, no, not even likes, subs, or views. I hope to look back in a year from now and look at this channel and hopefully see my comments filled with people who've had similar experiences to me, and see people connecting with each other on the things I talk about to build a sense of community. That's way better than figuring out how to trim an Excel function using Copilot to drive shareholder value. That's something actually tangible that actually means something to me. Which is why you got to create your own Kool-Aid. You know, what work has taught me is to really go after what I want to do and what matters, and chase what matters to me, which is my faith, my friends, my family, my purpose. Still finding my purpose, which I'm sure a lot of you guys struggle with as well. I don't know if I'll ever find it, but every single day got to keep striving towards finding it. And this isn't to say, like, I'm in a very privileged position. The only thing I have to worry about is paying rent. I don't have to provide for a child, girlfriend, etc. It's just me. And I don't want to get stuck with the golden handcuffs in 10 to 15 years when I do have these responsibilities where I got to be working a job that I absolutely hate. I can't fathom it. And that's why a big reason why I started this channel. I had to make a change because creating your own Kool-Aid, you got to do it brick by brick, stir by stir, I guess you could say. You know, the first two videos I posted on this channel, are they cinematic masterpieces? No. They're absolute dirt. And I rambled a lot in them. But that's something I got to improve on. That's something I've always struggled with is rambling, not being concise enough. And if this channel ultimately doesn't end up what I think, doesn't end up being what I want it to be, I should say, I hope to improve in my speaking skills at the very least, because that's something, like I said, I've always struggled with. And brick by brick, hopefully I can build it into something good. And that's, instead of dooming on social media, dooming on dooming on YouTube for just slop content on shorts where I see that CIA former spy John Kiriakou slowed in reverb talking about how he popped some dude with GTA races on the bottom part of the screen. I'm looking at OBS Studio editing techniques, among other things, and just how I can make my content better and provide more value to this YouTube space and hopefully to you guys just every single day. And it's not only just, what I want to do with my career, it's my personal life too. Brick by brick, building better relationships with God, my friends, my family, being more present with being on my phone less. I deleted social media apps. I'm just trying to almost become human again, I feel like, as, you know, staring at a screen all day, doing something you don't enjoy, and then staring at a screen even more when you get off work, just scrolling all day. It's not what humans were made to do. And I hope I find what I was put on this earth to do. And through this corporate job, it's given me the opposite perspective of exactly what I don't want to do for the rest of my life because I have one go at this. And I encourage all of you out there to reflect on your job, whether it's a corporate job or your high school job. Like I used to work a ton of odd jobs like Dunkin' Donuts. I worked at a gyro shop making gyros. I worked at this hot dog shop a ton. And I was just reminded I have a tremendous amount of respect for anybody who does honest work. It's better than being like a course selling scam artist, for example, but I don't want to be cutting a gyro cone for the rest of my life. And it's the same thing with I don't want to be ripping X lookups and financial forecasts for the rest of my life either. Everything has been a lesson, and I need to capitalize on these lessons while I have the time in the ability, because I don't have the responsibilities of somebody a lot older than me who has a family or kids or a mortgage, to do the things I want to do and try and just give an effort to make my own Kool-Aid, get away from having to work a 9 to 5, set myself up for success in the future to live a more fulfilled life. And I have to do that brick by brick every single day because I've been terrible at that. I've always been a guy who he gets into a routine, he follows it really well for a few months, and then he gets off it, whether that be in the gym or other facets of life. And this is something that I can't do now. I need to capitalize because hopefully one day the thing I've built outside the cubicle becomes the thing I walk into every day. Not physically, but metaphorically in terms of this channel or something else I find further down the road that I'm passionate about, and I hope you guys can do the same. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Love to see you in the next one.